Shut up. The converted man here. I've got Germania here, and we are here. Hi, Germania.
Hey, this is Dallas Wade. Welcome back to another Sunday service.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, I cannot do his voice.
Yeah.
It choked me up inside.
There was that thing a while back. It was like impressions, way long time ago. It was like impressions of the other YouTubers, and people were doing impressions of people. And I'm like, well, I think he's a good guy, and blah blah blah. And like, oh, you didn't mean that kind of impression. Oh, like, you know, see what I did? I thought it was clever. That video's gone. That video's gone now. You can't find it on my channel. It once existed and now it doesn't. It might, you know what? I don't know. It might still exist. I don't remember. I think I deleted it. But who knows? What's the topic? That's a good question. We don't know. I don't know. Gur wanted to do this. This is Gur's fault. This is as all things are.
This is spur of the moment. Let me tell you what was happening. Okay, so the past like 2 or 3 nights, I've been trying to learn how to live stream. And oh my God, I'm so glad I set every one of those live streams to private. Because it was a train wreck. I would be like,
yeah.
yeah,
Sure. Oh. Yeah, I always start coughing like let me mute my microphone.
Every time I do the every time I do a video, I swear to Allah, I have to repeat the sentence like freaking like 4 times before I feel like I get it right.
Yeah, you've got a Jew in the audience. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I like
come on. Say something nice.
Welcome. Doesn't get any nicer than that.
Now I think we did have, I have lovely talks with Lame Goth Mom. She's really cool. But she does this whole other thing that's like, it's not my realm at all, where like they watch, like people will they'll vlog their life as a mom. Like,
you're right.
And I don't understand that world. And then like the other moms watch the moms and then they complain about the moms. And this is what they do. Like, and so then you have the moms complaining about the moms that are complaining about the moms. And so there's this like whole thing, and it's like, here, react to this. I'm like, but what I don't, and I'm like, I don't know what to
react to this reaction.
I don't understand what I'm even looking at. Like, and I'll try to like, throw logic at it. And
it doesn't stick.
I worry that when I'm in those things with her, that I'm like the driest one there. That's like, yes, well, you see, the sexual awareness of the complex metaphor is such that, the hyper awareness of logic, num.
Right, it's like, well,
like, oh my God, I sound like a pretentious, caricature. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's great. I love it. It's great.
Hey, I would say, should we reveal what we were talking about before we went live?
No, we're not going to talk about any of that. We're not going to talk about the meat. We're not going to talk about bowel movements. We're not going to talk about any stupid topics. We're only going to we're going to plot about blah, blah, blah. That's what we're going to
solve, folks.
Yeah. You know what? Screw it. I don't know what we're doing.
But
how are you doing? How are you doing on YouTube? Have you got good numbers lately? What's going on there? I don't know what's going. I don't. I got.
No, go on. You asked the question. You answered.
Yeah. I asked the question and then I answer my own question. Okay. Well, I got plus because of the debate that I had. Only to be shown that I screwed up in the debate royally.
I saw that video.
But my opponent didn't point it out, so I consider that a win.
That's a good point. Listen.
Also, he didn't answer the question that I asked several times, so I consider that a win. But I can't analyze my own argument because, of course, I'm going to be on my own side.
Right, yeah.
But that isn't true for videos that I did as Infinite Hope. I can analyze the bleep out of those because I know I was wrong.
Right. Well, it's like this. I don't know words.
What were you saying about the previous live streams being train wrecks there, girl?
Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yep.
I was watching Modern Day Debate with. It was.
You tell me how I did, because I can't. Whatever you say, I'll accept it. You can be as hard as you want. I can take it.
No.
I can take it. Really, I can't. My ego can take it.
I'll be right back. I'm not crying. Somebody's cutting onions.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
No, I thought you did well in that debate. I thought you did really well.
I know I could do better.
Granted, which this goes with probably any debate. There's a lot of over talking and interruptions here and there, but that comes with territory.
He was having so many technical issues. Now I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know what made it in, but if it made it in or not, because I didn't rewatch it after I was done. I was like, "Oh, that's it. I'm done." Looking back, I burned that bridge. Whatever. I'm never coming to pay back on that channel. I'm sure.
Hey, if they can have Godless Girl back multiple times, they can have you back at least twice.
Well, I don't know. Is that somebody that's been?
I'm not gonna get into it, but my god,
okay. You know how I feel about that. It's like, look, let's not attack the person. Just the argument. That's all that matters. That's all that should matter.
Well, let's just say some people on that channel, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a professional debater, but oh my god, some people on that channel will go in and get really like emotional and start swearing every word and start raising their voice as if that makes their point any more or less valid. It's like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, now I understand, you can get passionate and
right.
I have had anger issues. So I know I got really bad, like, I don't even know if those videos are still around of me, like, just going off on people, but they probably exist somewhere, especially with G-Man. Just that's why he became dead to me. I just couldn't. The stupidity levels were just, I couldn't take it, and I just lashed out, and it wasn't good. And I'm like, look, I see that that's a problem, and I'm going to work on it, and I did, and I'm sure that but I recognize now. See, what I didn't know before was why humans yell, and why do we yell? Do you know this?
No. I assume it's like some sort of evolutionary programming, because you're bringing attention to yourself, I guess, to alert others that you're being preyed upon, maybe.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's just what I read. Now, if you ask me to find it, it's gonna be like, I don't know where
I need citations.
I'm gonna have to like dig in Google for it.
I'm just kidding,
and I'm never gonna find the damn thing anyway. So, anyways, I mean, it might be wrong, but I remember reading it. So
you're never wrong.
Skeptical of it, be skeptical of it, whatever. But
we're
animals, and other animals.
And we eat other animals.
Right. Oh, we eat. Yeah, right. So, like, if a lion roars, it is to scare its opponent away, or to frighten its prey into immobility. So we are essentially roaring when we are yelling at each other. We're trying to intimidate the other person. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, it might be wrong, even though it makes sense.
Right.
But, I mean, it's like, oh, yeah, it's good. But, it's like, it's good explanation. It might be wrong, but I'm going to just pretend it's the explanation, and then I'm not going to yell as much. And it worked. I haven't yelled yet. Well, I don't know. I mean, now it's only a matter of time before I start yelling at somebody.
Well, as soon as I can find...
yelling at, there is a difference between yelling at something and yelling at someone. Like yelling at an idea versus a person. Like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you're so wrong at that.
You're so stupid.
You're so, and then you say, this is that one video I was like, this is stupid, that book is stupid, and I'm being hyperbolic.
That video,
that's
if that's the same video I'm talking about when the guy said it was Fred Hoyle, and you're like, oh, this guy's stupid. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Wait, what was it?
It was somebody said it was Fred Hoyle who coined the term Big Bang.
And I'm like, no, it wasn't. And then
You're
was.
like,
I was like,
screw you. You're
I was right anyways. Just had like a mental meltdown in the middle. I was like, because I was so sure he was wrong. Like,
I have been so tempted to put that into one of my videos, but I can't find the right spot for it. So I'm like, oh, one of these days.
You're stealing content. I'm gonna copyright strike.
Oh, I actually did have somebody copyright strike me.
Did you? Really?
This is in the very beginning of my channel. His name was, or is, I don't even think he's still around anymore. Beyond My Vision. Okay, he made a video saying that atheists believe in magic because they believe in the Big Bang and. That's magic.
Oh, yeah,
bro.
yeah, that's magic, right.
And I'm like I
what?
can't even remember what I said. I didn't even insult the guy. I mean, I may have been a little condescending, but I didn't call him stupid or anything. And sure enough, I didn't even realize the video had a copyright strike until probably 8 months ago. I was just fooling around on YouTube and I was like, oh, what's this? Oh, copyright claims. And I was like, huh? And then I clicked on it, and sure enough, he made a copyright strike.
But
it was stupid.
Isn't it somewhat the responsibility of the uploader? Like mine is set to automatically be Creative Commons, which means there is no copyright on anything I upload, as far as I understand it, unless I'm understanding it wrong.
Well, I don't know anything about YouTube. I just watch it. Excuse me. I just watch it and create stuff for it.
Right, but I mean, when you there's a thing that you were supposed to click, and probably you did, but you didn't pay attention to it, where it says what type, if it's Creative Commons or if it's whatever the license is or whatever. And as I understood it, Creative Commons meant anyone can use anything I do, and I'm like, yeah, whatever they can. I don't. Oh yeah. I mean, I would like for them to cite me, my channel or whatever, but technically, there's nothing I can do or that I know of that would make them have to do that. And, it's like, well, if they use my stuff and I don't know and I find them later, it's going to be like, okay, that's weird. And I'm going to be, please link to my channel. And if they don't, well, that's the end of that.
Well, speaking of YouTube and your own channel, do you ever YouTube yourself? Like you search for your name on YouTube?
Yes. Yeah, I do that sometimes. Well, I do that sometimes. Yeah, I forget that I can search my own videos for stuff. So I'll be like, when did I do that thing? And then I'll be searching the wrong bar. And I'm like, no. I want to search my own videos, not all of YouTube for this thing. And what bar am I in? But yeah, sometimes I'll also be like, I wonder if anyone said anything about me behind my back on YouTube that I don't know about. It's not behind my back if it's public, right? But if I don't know about it, it's behind my back.
And then you see Gurmedia destroys the man.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I said meat, whatever the hell it was. I don't know. I couldn't read.
What's funny is I was
right about everything else. Whatever.
Well, what's funny is I watched that video probably 3 or 4 times, working up a response to it.
I destroyed you so badly, you never came back to make the argument fix. I told you how broken it was, and yet you have yet to come with a repaired argument.
Well,
so I win. That's all I take away from this.
To your superior knowledge.
To my superior. I win because I eat meat and I have a better brain than you. There. Well, now for I don't know. There might be. Well, is there anything to back up that claim? No, I don't know. I knew that.
It's just all the animal protein in the brain, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
You're going to tell me how wrong I was, but then, I before
that's actually what it was. So as I was watching your video for the 3rd or 4th time, I was like, Okay, here's the screenshot. Here's him sharing the screen about what's what's classified as causing cancer.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second, did I just see the word? And I clicked on it. I had to back up, pause. There it is. Processed meat.
Processed meat. That's right. It said processed meat though, and I was looking. I don't remember what word I was looking for.
You were looking for beef.
Yeah, I was looking for beef. I'm like, processed meat isn't beef. And I'm like, and of course it is. And I'm like, shut up, whatever.
Technicality.
Look, whatever. Look, the bottom line is you still haven't made a video where you make your argument. So I still think I win.
Well,
but it's not about that. Somebody to be serious for a moment, because
yes,
that I was listening to a debate, and people were coming in the chat saying who's winning, and I'm like, there isn't. That's not really like, unless before you begin the debate, you both agree on like, okay, let's say for this, that whoever makes the most logical fallacies loses. Right. And like somebody else will have to count that and then like tell us who won, right?
Right.
And unless you do that, then there really isn't a winner per se. And both sides of this debate were actually doing pretty well, I thought. Nobody made any outstanding fallacies that I noted. But there was no real syllogisms either, but that's okay. I mean, you don't have to have that for a debate. But I thought both sides were equally well spoken. I thought they made good points. I thought in the end, I thought the one side made better points than the other side, and then they switched topics to whatever else, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Well,
but that I mean, there is no me winning or you losing per se. It's the whole point of any of this stuff is just to get each other to be the best that we can. I mean, and that's constructive criticism. And hey, it's like,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean,
I still won, but yes, I agree.
Yeah, no, you will win. You will win the moment you have a valid and sound argument. Then you'll win. Then I'll be like, yeah, I agree with you now. That's it. That's the victory. It's you haven't done it, so until you do, I get to be skeptical, and then I win. But it's not, it's like, look, you have good points. You can still see good points even with a horrible argument. There's still but of course, I have to be skeptical because that's how it works. On Twitter, I've noted the disturbing thing. I think I got to get off Twitter because arguments tend to happen. And the thing is, because I'm a skeptic, I ask questions. And I worry because sometimes people are really emotional about certain subjects. And I just go, how do we know that's true? Like, where's the proof for this? And where that? Like, yeah, no, it's out there. And like, really, is it though? It's like, yeah, you gotta look for it. I'm like, that's not how the burden of proof works. And this, whoever will be nameless, but saying like, you gotta Google it and find the right sources. And I'm like, that right there is proof of the burden of proof. That is to say, I don't know what you consider to be good sources. So if I go look and I go, here's all this data that proves you wrong, you can just easily turn around and go, well, that's not real data, or that's biased data, or whatever.
That's what anti-vaxxers do.
Yeah. So you must find me the data to provide me that you want to use. And then, of course, it should be accessible by everybody, like not behind a paywall or whatever. It's like, oh, to get this, you need university access or pay like $270. I'm not going to look. You want me to look at it, you pay, then you screenshot it or save it and you send it to me, whatever, so I can look at the dang data, because that's all that should matter. That is the data, and then you have your argument. But it's hard to do that. Twitter doesn't give you that much room. I mean, you could do it. You could be like, here's like 5 resources. And don't give me articles either. I don't want the dang articles. Just give me the data that the articles are referring to, because the articles are biased, so.
I have noted. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just because the topic is one that people are emotional about, they'll forget like how logic functions. Like, no, you go look for it. Of course it's out there. Go find it. And they're like, no, that's not how logic works. Oh, you must be against this. And no,
You're just biased.
I'm not on the other side. I'm just being skeptical. That's all I'm doing. That doesn't mean I'm on any side other than being skeptical side. That's it. Nobody's watching anymore. Nobody cares about us. It's your fault.
Let me see. Yep, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I was right. That's all right. That's all right. Whatever.
Hey,
go ahead and talk. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so speaking about asking, like, how do we know this, or how do we know a thing? Okay,
how do we know that this is true?
There was I won't name the channel, a Christian YouTube channel, and they were having a live stream. So I go on there, and I don't get on the live stream. I'm just in the chat room, right? And somebody said, omniscience is absolutely a fact, therefore God.
What?
I was like, I was dumbfounded. I've heard some dumb arguments before, but I said, whoa, how do you know omniscience is a thing? And if it is a thing, how do you know it's God? Specifically for God.
I mean, because you're going to have to show association causation. You're going to have to show that omniscience is a thing. You're going to have to show that God's a thing. I mean, there's some few steps you're missing.
Right. Now, I just don't think this person, and I say this respectfully, just don't think this person was bright or knew how to construct a solid argument or anything of that nature. And they just kept saying it's a fact. And I kept saying, how do you know it's a fact? And they would say, because it's real. I'm like, well, how do you know that is real? How do you know that
it's real? It's because it is. I mean, it's just I know that it is. It's like, well, you believe that. I've had that discussion too, and maybe it's not worth quibbling over. But it's like, the know versus believe. Like, what do you know versus what do you believe? And on
right,
when I think it's the Herend apologist or whatever said something on Twitter like, knowledge is a subset of belief or whatever. I'm like, is it though? That's my new thing.
Equals 5. Yeah. I mean 4.
Yeah. So,
I know that is true, but
but I also
have knowledge of it. But it's also, it's also a mathematical.
What is belief something that we're going to categorize as being different than the word knowledge? And if so, why? Like, for me, I view knowledge to be that I can say that I know X. Like Aaron Ross, like if you can show it, then you know it. And I think, oh yeah, that's kind of where I would go with it. It's like if it's demonstrable somehow, then you can say you know it. Whereas something that is not demonstratable, you could say that you believe it. Like hypothetically, somebody could demonstrate that they love you or whatever.
Right.
And so you could say, well, I know they love me, but you also believe that they love you. And so both could be true at the same time. It's not either or.
Right.
It doesn't have to be like a black and white. Like, and it was like somebody was saying that let's see what you make of this. They said thoughts are non-material, therefore materialism is false.
I've heard Frank Turek say something akin to that.
Yeah.
Just like, so thoughts are supernatural in your worldview.
Well, materialism asserts, if you will, that all things are material, but thoughts aren't material. Now, okay, are they material or not? That's the thing. Like, it's like thinking about thoughts. What is a thought? It's like, well, is it just like the sum of its parts that a thought occurs when the neurons and fire and the chemicals do whatever the bleep they're doing? Because I'm no brain expert. I don't
right.
Yeah, I'm not a neurologist. I don't even know what the bleep's going on. Like how does it? I don't know how any of that even works. Like, before I have a thought about anything, what happens in my brain? Like, because a neuron has to fire, right? Well, how does the neuron know to fire? Like, I don't know. Like, how does that work? Like some chemical comes in and tells the neuron to fire. Great. How does that chemical know to come? Because the neuron needs to fire. But why? Because, what was it? What is it? The plants like what is it? The from Idiocracy, that whole thing.
It's been a minute since I've seen that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
But yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Anyways.
Well,
I'll let you talk while I look that
up. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Yeah, like when it comes to thoughts being immaterial, the way I see it is they are emergence of a physical thing. So I think they're just an extension of a physical thing and not separate of a physical thing. So like by default, I feel like they are physical. But I mean, I don't know. It gets really trippy and I almost feel like a stoner thinking about it. Like, whoa, pass the blunt, bro. So I don't know. It's
it's okay. Trippy. It's Brondo's gut, so its plants crave. What does it have? It has electrolytes. What are electrolytes? This is what they use to make Brando. Why do they use it to make Brando? Because it's got electrolytes, and that's what plants crave. It's just like completely circular logic. It's like, but you don't even know what the electrolytes is. It's whatever the bleep they make Brando with, and that's what plants want because it's what it says. It's like, yes, but why? And you can't get anywhere because they don't. There isn't an answer to it.
It's almost. I feel like it kind of opens the door to determinism.
Yeah,
even more so than it. Already seems to be, at least.
Yeah, and that's I'm fine with if that happens to be the way it is. I mean, okay, whatever is true, that's true. I don't know. I don't have a preference. That's I think that's something where, like, if you have a particular theology or belief,
mm-hmm.
Separate from, like, well, I mean, you could be an atheist and believe in ghosts or whatever, so who knows,
right? I actually have a friend who is an atheist and also does paranormal ghost hunting investigations, so there's that, I guess.
Well, I mean, I think that, look, if they're out there, then okay, great, go investigate. But then the question is, there's so many questions to ask about that.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, first of all, so are we saying we're looking for spirits or souls or whatever, right? Well, wouldn't the equipment that's geared to detect that beep when it's around me? Because I also have a spirit or a soul. So it would just beep all the time, right?
Right.
Like, it should be beeping all the time. They should have to, like, put it far away from themselves so that it far enough away that it's not beeping because of their soul or spirit. So, but it only works when the soul or spirit is not in the body. Like, why does it do that? Like, how do you know you're detecting a soul or spirit if it can't first detect yours?
That's actually a good point, because I know when I went with this friend of mine on some of these paranormal investigations, he would bring this thing called, I think it was called like a spirit box or something.
Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Right. And
you ever take that thing apart, you'll find out it has, like, nothing in it. It's like, yeah.
Right. And what I told him, I said, how about this? I'm going to write a word and put it in a box. Nobody will know what it is, so you can't do selective hearing, just listening out for this word. Only I know the word. I'll put it in a box, and if your spirit box, if we can say, hey, spirits or demons or whatever may be listening, if you can look inside this box and tell us what this word is, we'll know that, you're here or that you exist or whatever. And of course, that never happened.
Yeah, well, because you constructed a fair test and they can't pass it. That's right. Why. Yeah, well, I mean, I was on that topic of spirits or whatever a while back, and it's like, look, the bottom line for me is it testable? Because if it is, then great. Then all we have to do is test it. If it's not testable, then it has to be regulated to a belief rather than, what I would call a knowledge claim, because you can believe whatever. I don't care. It does,
Right.
I'm not going to mess with that. I'll leave that alone because it's a belief. I don't, but when you say X is true, okay, then how do we know that? Well, it's either testing or empiricism or some other methodology. And what's that? I don't know what other methodology we would use to discover it's true, but okay, let's look at that and how does all that work? And it's like with SJ, SJ Thomason, and she said on Twitter that she knows when somebody evil is in the room. And I'm like, okay, I'll give you, I'll give you $1,000 if we can prove that this is true scientifically. And I have I was like, I had $1,000 to spare at that time. I don't now, but I did at the time.
Right.
And like, okay, well, I'll go there. I'll fly wherever the bleep you want me to. I'll do it.
Right.
And let's first see if I'm evil, like or bad or whatever you want to call it. And because first we have to, verify that the person is making you react. And then I'll stand behind a door and then, we'll record, and we'll see how far away I have to get before you stop feeling me or whatever. And here's this test and here's how it would work. And you get $1,000, right? Well, you think she took the offer? No. You know what she said? Oh, just because you can't test it doesn't mean it's not true.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, so you're full of it. And not only are you full of it, but I wanted to say, that you're full of it, but I would have categorized that statement as a logical fallacy because I don't know that she knows that she's full of it, right? But at some level, I highly suspect that she recognized it can't be tested because that means it could be falsified.
Right.
And if it's falsified, that means it wasn't true. Like, and a lot of those so-called miracles that aren't very impressive, like there's some statue or whatever that
and it's crying tears of blood,
or whatever. They won't let you examine it or at all. Like nobody can test it, nobody can look at it to find out what's going on. Like we can't take x-rays of it or and there's this other one that it survived an explosion that was near it, supposedly, and then like it also survived some acid dripping on it or something. And I'm like, great, can we test it? Like, oh, maybe you could. I'm like, yeah, are they gonna let us test it though? It's like, I don't know. Why don't you ask them? I'm like, but why don't you ask them? Because like, why haven't they tested it? You say this will not explode. Great, let's put some TNT on it and find out if that's true. Kaboom. It's gone now. I guess it did explode and you were wrong. Right?
Well, and it also raises some other questions like, how come this statue is invincible, but God couldn't, help a little child who is about to get murdered?
Look, we're not interested in that. What we are interested in is finding out whether or not the angel statue will explode or not. But see, that's kind of the problem of debunking is at best you would negate that one claim. And then there's a million more claims to negate. And that's why the burden is on them to show that it's true, not the other way around. It's like, okay, you made a claim that it survives acid. Okay, great. Demonstrate that that's the case. You made a claim that it can survive an explosion. Great. Demonstrate that that's the case. And you, why wouldn't you? Like if you really thought it could do this, why would you be against showing that it's true repeated? Like it should be on display repeatedly, getting acid dripped on it as it explodes and having nothing happen to it and being like, isn't that amazing? They'd be like, oh, that's pretty dang amazing. Now I don't know if at that point you would say that's a miracle, but at least you'd have something to
it would be something.
It'd be something. Yeah, it'd be amazing. Like I said during that debate thing, the lobster levitating off my hand. Well, I guess we would call that a miracle, just because we don't have anything else to call it.
Right.
But I don't think we're warranted. It's a difference. I don't think we're warranted to call it a miracle because I think that miracle is just based on ignorance. Like I don't know what made the lobster levitate. Like it could have been, who knows? Yeah, it could have been aliens. Could have been,
right.
Who knows? Right.
There could be some natural reasons that we just haven't
Yeah,
discovered.
exactly. And so you'd have to know all the natural things to know to be able to say. And then even then, of course, aren't at the end of the day. Let's just pretend we knew all the natural possibilities, right?
Right.
And you said, okay, we eliminated every single one. Does that then mean that we have to make a new category and say that it belongs to this other category, or does it mean we just don't know?
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean. As far as people like S.J. Thompson saying, it can't be tested, or
Just because it's not testable doesn't mean it's not true.
right.
Well,
I
yeah, but
I was watching a debate, and it was I think it was Dan Barker debating Matt Slick. Oh my god, that guy's
man,
Matt Slick is just
he's a fun guy to talk to.
He is so.
Tell you what,
I'll have to hear about this in a little bit, but he's just so terrible at debating because I think it was Dan Barker. He said something along the lines of, "There have been studies, people that get prayed for. You would expect there to be at least a placebo effect for them to get a little bit better, more than average at least. But the results were actually the opposite. Like they either didn't get better or it was worse. And
there was one study. Yeah.
And Matt Slick said something along the lines of, well, you can't put God in a box and just test him, or something along those lines. But I'm thinking, but the fact that there are studies that show that prayer is actually harmful, not even neutral, it's especially not beneficial, doesn't that at least make you question a little bit? But all he could say was, well, you couldn't just test God.
Yeah, it was somebody I was talking to about in Hangout, and I think it was on my channel. I don't know now, but at any rate, who, when I said, is it testable? And they're like, well, and I'm like, because you're talking about like different rich, like not magic rituals per se, but things that hexes or whatever that you could perform that would supposedly summon whatever. And I'm like, okay, if I do this, does it work every time? Like can I summon the thing on command? It's like, well, you can't really test them because they're like people. And I'm like, but you can test people. Like you could, it's like, oh well, it's like, are they like, wouldn't there be at least one out of however many there are? Wouldn't there be at least one that wants you to know that it exists? Like if it was me and I was the spirit, I'd be going to labs all the time, like diving in front of instruments and in front of lasers. I'd be at CERN, like, look at me, find me. I'd be trying. I would want them to discover me, and then I'd be like, get me out of here, get me back, Is there at least one that wants to be discovered? And it's like, no, they all have to go into hiding the minute you test them.
Right. Well, I know this one person I was talking to. They said, well, when you're looking for ghosts, if you're not being sincere, they're not going to reveal themselves to you. And I said, so by me not believing in them, that hurts their little ghost feelings?
Like, how do they know I'm not being sincere? Why does that matter? Like,
right.
It only, all these things, but these are just excuses to then explain why they don't.
Why would they have human emotions? Like, oh, they're not sincere. Therefore, I'm not going to reveal myself.
Why wouldn't they say, hey, jerk face, And I don't know if you know Achievement Hunter at all, but I watched this entertainment thing, and they do all sorts of silly stuff, and they did like a whole ghost hunter thing, and they were like making fun of the spirits or whatever, and like I'm like, yeah, that's it, yeah, taunt them, why not? They're not right. And it's like, and they kind of almost, except for the skeptic, who I admire more now because he kind of came out as a skeptic, but not like fully. Right. He was like, I don't really believe in this necessarily. Like he was careful about it because obviously, when you're in entertainment, you have to be kind of careful about that stuff,
Right. You have ratings to uphold.
Yeah. But at any rate, that the rest though were kind of like convincing themselves that they had heard something or whatever was weird. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you go to enough places that are dark, empty, foreboding, you're going to think something's weird eventually because it's dark and it's foreboding and it might have been abandoned for a reason,
Yeah, because I have a video I have been planning to make for like months now, but just haven't got around to it. And a long time ago, some years ago, a friend and I, we were told about this haunted bridge.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, this really haunted bridge.
Haunted bridge.
Where you could hear the sounds of a woman moaning and a baby crying and all these creepy things.
River, like
right, and so
or if it's it might be over a canyon, so is it the wind? I mean,
well, the story gets even better. Okay, so we were hearing about all these stories from these people who had went there and were so freaked out and about all the things they felt and they could hear and they could feel around them. And so we go to this bridge, right? And at the time, I was still a Christian, so I was still very much believing into. I probably didn't believe that it was actual ghosts, but more so demons, because the way I was raised, there was no such thing as ghosts, just demons or angels, because when you die, you just go to heaven or hell.
Yeah,
And so we went there, and this bridge is in the middle of nowhere. And so we get there, and as soon as we drive up to it, we started just getting scared because we were like, whoa, it's dark. That thing looks haunted. This just doesn't feel right. Because we're thinking about all these stories. And we parked the car and we started walking to the bridge. We didn't even walk on it. We were just so freaked out. And my friend at the time, he was already kind of stupid anyway. So like he was just like, man, I don't know. I don't think we should do this. Like, what if some sort of spirit follows us back? And I'm like, well, I mean, you might be right, because I mean, I don't feel right doing this. And we had a video camera and the camera died. So that's more quote unquote evidence right there.
Right.
This bridge is haunted. So finally we said, to hell with this. And we run back to the car, get in it, and we take off. And we said, screw that. Well, come to find out, we went to the wrong freaking bridge. It wasn't even wasn't even a bridge that was said to be haunted. That tells you the power of suggestion.
You don't know. Maybe that bridge was haunted too.
Right. That's probably what somebody would say.
Right. But I mean, there's more questions for these sort of ideas than there could ever hope to be answers. It's like, okay, well, so can it move through things? Yes, it's like, okay, well, but then why doesn't it fall through the earth into the core of the earth?
Right.
What's key, or why doesn't it get flung off? Because the earth is going like, I just looked it up lately. It was like 1,000 miles an hour or something.
Yeah.
Rotating. I thought it was faster than that, but whatever. That's the one thing that I saw lately. So that might be wrong. I don't know.
I think that is right, because it's funny. I had semi-recently had looked into that myself for some reason. I don't know. I get bored and it's late at night, and I'm like, how fast is the Earth rotating?
Yeah, how fast is the Earth rotating? Well, I wanted to know specifically so I could say the next time somebody brought up this, I'm like, well, why doesn't it get flown off? Because the Earth is going 1,000 miles an hour, and I wanted to, make sure I'm right. It's like, 13 billion years ago, the Earth was, or the universe, the universe, whatever, something happened, and
right.
Things, and but then they said, well, maybe it's like 7 million years less than that. And I'm like, really? Who said that? Where? And I couldn't find it. So I'm like, I'm sticking with 13. That's the number I memorized.
Right.
Until it changes on Google, that's the answer.
Right. It's like the universe is like 13 point
Yeah,
something
give or take,
billion.
it's an approximation.
And then the Earth is like 4.5 billion or
4.5
something
billion.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's old. That's just so old. We can't conceive of that number. That's the problem. It's like you know, I've seen things where they try to show you like the number billion or whatever, you know, and it's
Right.
massive scale. It's just big. It's huge. It's gigantic. It's incomprehensible. And I think of, like, you know, so when you hear, you know, numbers of people, you know, however, have died from whatever, if the number's too big, you can't process it.
You're right.
It's when the numbers are small enough for you to imagine that you can, like 1,000 people, you can picture that. So
Right.
that, you know, it's weird, but that's just how brains are. Like, and then there's a certain amount of people that you can know, like, keep in your brain. Like, there's a limit to how many people that you could actually remember their name, and, you
I
know,
think I have heard
you know,
that.
whatever. Yeah, yeah, I forget where I heard it, but it was really interesting. Like, you know, I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So after that point, like, you get that one other person, they're like, who are you again? Like, you'd always forget their name. They're the one person that you know, you're like, look, I'm topped out. I can't, like, and but you think about, like, I've met Weird Al like 3 times, you know.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. And so from my perspective, that's
And
awesome.
so fitting.
But from his perspective, he has no idea who the hell I am.
Right, right.
I showed him a picture of us meeting. He was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, good to see you again." And it's like, he doesn't remember that. He doesn't even know what the hell that picture. He's like, "Yeah, that's me in the picture. This other guy that's talking to me right now. Okay, yeah, sure." You know, that's all. That's all that is. You know, because he's met millions, you know, however many thousands and thousands of people. I'm not, you know, yeah, he's not gonna, you know.
No, right.
And even if you were, well, maybe if you went to like every single concert and met him every single time, then he would then maybe remember you, you know. But
right.
I mean, if you're just a drop in an ocean of people, that somebody that's met a lot of people, of course they're, you know, of course they're not gonna remember.
No, no. You know, it's funny because I know every once in a while somebody will be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Who the hell are you?" But I'm just like, "Oh, hey,
Hey, yeah. You ever
good
do
to
the
see
thing where, like,
you."
you're like, I know their name, but I don't know what their name is. How do I get them to tell me their name? So you just start talking about yourself in the third person, hoping that they will also talk about themselves in the third person,
Right.
so that then
Or
you know their name. Like, yeah, yeah, deconverted man. That guy, he's a weird guy. Isn't it weird how weird I am, deconverted man? That's
yeah,
my name. Isn't it weird? Like, if you were to say the same thing that I'm saying right now, what would you say?
well, yeah, because I know, like if I meet somebody and I happen to be with like my girlfriend at the time, and I don't know who the person is, I'll be like, "Hey, this is my girlfriend, such and such," and I'm just
Yeah,
hoping that they'll say,
yeah, nice to meet.
"Oh,
Yeah, they
I'm."
did that in Seinfeld, where like, this is my friend, and then the gal, he didn't remember her name, and he's just like, yeah, nice to meet you. He's like, sorry, I tried.
That was such a good show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
hope they like bring it back to like
no,
Netflix
no,
or
it's done.
something.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's you know, I'm sure it's somewhere, but they had the kids, you know, that React channel. That, I mean, I don't know. It's, you know,
I don't know why people like those
I
reaction channels.
well, I mean, like, some of them I like, but the main one, the Fine Bros React thing,
Ugh.
you know, ugh. But anyways, they had the kids react to Seinfeld, and they're like miniature snobs. I'm like, I hate these kids. I want to hurt them. Like,
Get off
"Oh,
my lawn.
that joke's not funny because it's like he put her to sleep." Like, it was the one episode where he puts the gal to sleep to play with their toys. Oh, they're commenting on rape. That's not funny. I'm like, the whole
Oh my God.
that's
What?
the joke. That's the joke, you idiot. It's not rape. He's playing with her damn toys, and she doesn't want him playing. That's the joke. Yes, it's about rape, but it's not about rape. You're an idiot. Screw you, you stupid kid. And I was yelling at the screen, like, why am I watching this? I hate watching it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'll watch like like, okay, we're probably very similar in the way that we'll look for videos to like respond to. And I'll be watching one, and I'm like, why the hell am I watching this? I just want to run my hand to the keyboard.
It's been really tough lately to find anything worth analyzing for logical fallacies. I don't know why. Like,
yeah, like
I haven't found. I'm like, does God exist? Nothing. Like, nothing that I can really do anything with. Like, I'm like, okay, is God real? Nothing.
Right.
Atheist wrong. No, nothing. But it's like I think we scared all the Christians off the platform or something. I think they're all gone.
Well, I hope that's the case, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't want it to be the case because I need content. Damn it.
Well, I do feel that way too. It's funny because I was watching it's a conversation between like Christopher Hitch and Sam Harris, and I think somebody had said, well, if you could erase religion off the face of the world, would you do it? And all of them were like, yeah, but Christopher Hitchens was like, nah, I like arguing.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt that on a spiritual level.
Yeah, like I get you. Well, I mean, because we would have something else to complain about, like
like flat earthers,
politics. Because I mean,
politics.
That's when I think my hypothesis has been that when it comes to politics, atheists, broadly speaking, say screw logic. Here's emotions. This is what I'm going to do. And I've seen it. Now, I might be guilty of it too. I don't know, but I just play the skeptic role and I'm like, well, how do we know that's true? Where did it say that he said that in the thing that he said? Like, the one person's like, this is racist. I'm like, what part of this is racist? Well, you can see that it's racist. I can't see that it's racist. Tell me how it's racist. Like, maybe it is. I don't know. But you tell me how you saw that it was, because I don't see anything here that says it's racist. Like, what is like, well, because it's against this. I'm like, well, where does it say that? It doesn't say that. So show me how you know that it's that thing when you can't show me that it's like, oh, well, you're racist. Okay, I'm racist. Whatever. I wrote a blog. I was like, I'm done. My blog was like, oh, I'm racist. I'm all the words. I don't care anymore.
Well, I know for me, like, I'll go through seasons like where I'm all about like, philosophical debates, discussions, criticizing and analyzing religion. And then other seasons where I'm like straight up, all right, what's happening in the world today? What's going on in politics?
Madness.
Right, just straight up madness.
Yeah, straight up madness.
And I'll notice I'll go back and forth, and it's hardly ever at the same time. It's like my mind becomes preoccupied with analyzing. Like with politics, there's so much cognitive dissonance.
Oh my god, yeah, on all the sides. I mean,
and I say that all across the board. And
at the end of the day, it's like really, when you step back, it's kind of like where George Carlin, said some truths. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's all the same. Whoever you vote for, it's just another idiot that wants money. That's all it is.
Right.
Like they're gonna say whatever they think will get them elected. Like, that's it. That's all they want. And it's like, it shouldn't be that. We don't want it to be that.
But it is that.
But that it's not.
Well, I mean, it seems to be that.
Yeah, it seems to be like, I don't trust it anymore, so we need to change it. How do we change the system? By voting in the right people. Who the hell are the right people? It's not these nitwits.
and then if you try to go third party, I mean, it's...
Well, this is what amazed me. I looked up who's running. There's 2 Republicans running that are not,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's 2 other Republicans. Of course you don't. So nobody talks to them. They haven't done it. It's like, where are they? Why haven't they said anything? Who are they? What have they done? I don't know a damn thing about them. Why do it's like, okay, why hasn't anyone interviewed them? Because they're not the main guy. That's why.
It seems to me like when it comes to like
But it doesn't matter, even if I voted for them, it's just
right. Yeah, at the end of the day, like
it doesn't
if you
matter.
vote third party, I mean,
I don't
obviously
know.
that person's not going to get elected.
Well,
maybe you can sleep better at night knowing that you
Yeah.
didn't vote for somebody like went against your conscience. But I mean,
I don't know.
But yeah.
I mean,
well, as far as like political parties, I feel like, okay, you've got your two major ones, Republican, Democrat. And then coming in way under that would be Libertarian. Way under that would be like Green Party, and then whatever else is under that.
Whigs is still one. The Kane West is running. He made his own party, and I guarantee you don't know the name of the party, and you're gonna laugh when you hear the name.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
You don't know the name of the party?
Nah.
It's the birthday party. I'm not joking. Fact check me.
That sounds like Babylonian Bee or the Onion News or something. Like a parody or something.
No.
The birthday party.
The birthday party.
The birthday party. I feel like that's the name of the band.
Yeah, that's what
I think it's Birthday Massacre. Anyway, but
So no, here it is. Let's just want to, make sure I don't have the word meat in this damn thing or something.
I'll be analyzing this video later.
So there you go.
Let me see. All right, let me make this thing bigger.
Yeah, I was making it as big as I can here.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. And who's the name of the candidate? Oh, you're kidding me.
No, I wasn't joking.
God.
There it is, right there. Birthday party.
I almost made the joke when you said the birthday party. I almost said it sounds like something like a rapper would come up with. I kid you not.
I told you it was Kanye West's party. Now, as far as I know, he made it. I don't know. Maybe somebody else did, but whatever. That's his affiliation.
Well,
so,
what's crazy is I thought he was a supporter or is a supporter of Donald Trump. But if he's running against him, then he's not really a supporter.
And then he said he's not now because he's running. Obviously, you can't.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But because we already. I mean, why not? Why not?
Sure. I mean, it's 2020.
Just vote for him. Why not? I mean. What does it matter anymore? I mean, honestly, at this point, who cares? I'm voting for the guy that has a shoe on his head or a boot on his head.
Well, I thought that's who you were originally talking about.
No, he's actually a libertarian. He's actually really smart and well spoken, and like his whole shtick with the boot is just to get attention. And he I don't know if he runs every time like. And it's like I looked into it because I was interested. I'm like, how do you run for president? It's complicated. It's hard.
Converted man 2020.
I thought,
hey, I just realized we have one dislike on our video right now.
That's fine. It's probably the people that hate you.
Yeah.
Wasn't me. I don't know who disliked it. Say it out loud. No, I have.
You know what? I'm gonna like it. That way it's 3 likes against 1.
Yeah, you know what? I'll dislike my own video. I don't care anymore. Whatever. I don't mind. I always just wonder why. Like, well, tell me what you didn't like. It's not even over yet. We're not even done. How are they liking or disliking it? They don't know yet. We haven't finished talking about nothing yet.
Yeah, this is like
this is a discussion about nothing. How can you dislike this discussion?
This is Seinfeld. Live stream.
Killing time live stream. Yeah, this is entertainment.
If you don't funny.
Like it, that's fine. I just want to know why they don't like it. That's fine. Did you not like it when I said the thing? Like, what was it? What did I do? Like, how do I change, man? I want to make you like me.
What's funny?
Love me.
Just love me. Well, what's funny is when I first started uploading on Germania, I had more dislikes than likes, which is what I was expecting in all honesty, because I honestly thought atheist YouTubers were a thing of the past because they all became, just political.
Yeah, for a
And
while there they did. And
it
then,
was, yeah, at least for a
and they
while.
all went back, and it was weird. I don't know. And then some of them went to other things. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't get it. So, but as my channel has grown, albeit extremely slowly, my likes are higher than my dislikes. So now, anytime I put out a video and it gets a lot of dislikes, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because it doesn't really tell you. It just tells you somebody clicked that. So it doesn't tell you why. Like, and I'm like,
Right.
please tell me what if you disagree with me, great. Just tell me why. Like, give me a logical argument. Give me something,
Yeah,
It's
because
like, you can't say words. I know that. Okay, your microphone sucks. Okay, well, whatever. Or, whatever. I mean, it's just like, well, tell me what it is, and if I can fix it, I will. If I can't, then all right, whatever.
What really drives me crazy is the sub count. It'll go up like 3, and then it'll go down like 6. I'm like,
yeah, this is gonna
why?
this is gonna tank me. This is the beginning of the end, and it's all your fault. If this loses me subs, I'm coming after you. I will kill you.
You know
And
what's
then I will
gonna be
eat you.
funny?
And then maybe the video of me eating you. No, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna eat you, and you're still gonna be alive. I want to leave you. I want to eat you to the pain, not to death. I want to eat you to the pain, like
not to death. Just to
the
the
Princess
pain.
Bride, to the pain.
You know what's gonna be funny is if you lose subs and I gain subs.
That would, you know what? He wouldn't surprise me, and whatever.
And
whatever.
I
At
would,
the end of the day, whatever.
I would rub it in your face.
You would too.
You know, I don't know.
Look, I proved you were. Ever since I proved you were a Nazi in that one video, you hated me.
Oh, I showed that video to my girlfriend just last
great,
night, and she laughed so hard. She's like, "What the hell?" I was like, "I know, isn't that funny?"
Yeah.
She just laughed and laughed. And
well, I like doing the the hyper let's find the conspiracy sort of thing.
Right.
It's like if you look hard enough, you'll see that like they did this whole thing on how Back to the Future predicted 9/11, and like if you flip over the thing, it says 9/11 here on the clock, and it's like, yeah, in that one part of the movie, and then it changes to but why would you have to flip it upside? Like what? Like if they knew it was gonna happen, like why didn't? Like what? Like how? It's just
right. It like way back in the 80s, they knew that terrorists or the government or whatever they want to insert, they knew that was going to happen. 30 years later, and so they put it in the movie. Like what?
Yeah, right. Because that makes sense. Like, yeah, we knew this thing was going to happen, so we hid it in this movie so that only somebody that was really looking hard after the fact could come and look at it and find out that we had predicted it. Well, and why? Because I don't know. We're like,
it's kind of like the whole Bible code thing. They'll be like, yeah, if you look at the original manuscripts, I guess take your pick on which ones you want to call the original.
Look, it says in the beginning, so therefore, when scientists says they're beginning of the universe, see, it was right. Like, yeah, but there really isn't a beginning of the universe. Oh no, but there has to be. No, but there isn't. So you're wrong. Yeah.
I'm calling it right now. If we ever discover alien life,
yeah, it's gonna
Christians be. They're gonna say, look, right here in this verse, it says this thing, which means the Bible knew there was alien life all along.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a spinning fire wheel in the sky in one of the Bible verses, so you could point to that and say that was a prediction or whatever.
And I mean, I don't know about aliens, but if there are aliens and we actually get proof of it, they're gonna say, "Yep, it's in the Bible," or they're gonna say, "No, it's demons." Which
okay, we need a topic to keep the 2 viewers we've got. What do you think that they want? Because they're not going to tell us what they want. We got to figure out what they want.
Let's see. We got Jesse camping.
Well, that's in the chat. That doesn't necessarily mean they're watching.
Oh, that's true.
They might just be in chat just for fun,
Yeah, they're probably in the chat, but actually asleep.
Yeah, like I muted you. I'm just here for the chat.
You know what? I bet you this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt you and I both. The 2 viewers.
We are the ones that are watching. Okay, here we have a question. Let's take it serious because I know we're joking around. Why do you guys think aliens matter? In regards to, I'm guessing the religion stuff. Like, well,
Well,
like it would change. Like, first of all, aliens that have intelligence, any alien at all, like even if it doesn't have intelligence, like if we find a plant somewhere, that's
right.
going to be amazing because
Yeah.
that's going to confirm a lot of things. If it's intelligent, like like say we found a cat, but it's not a cat because it'd be something, might look like
That
a
would be
cat,
really.
yeah, it'd be really weird. Well, I mean, might be possible, but at any rate, it looks like a cat. But okay, that's a whole nother level. And then if it was like us, like an intelligence, that would be a whole nother thing. It would change so much in the world because our view of ourselves and the universe at large would have to change because of that. Like we think that there are probably other things out there,
Right.
but
Well, and why I brought that up is because Christians always take credit for what science discovers. Like, for
not
example,
always, not always.
well, not always. I mean, a lot of the times,
Yeah,
especially the fundamentalists, they're like, no, that's just wrong. But you'll have those that say, yeah, you see, it says in the beginning, God created the universe. That's evidence of the Big Bang. So they'll take credit for the Big Bang. So what I think is, if aliens, if they are shown to exist, then
they will
say it says here in the Bible in this obscure verse,
well,
aliens exist.
Yeah, it would be. I do think it would be cool. There'd be many questions like, well, are they saved? Like,
you're right.
Because like for Christianity, for example, like, or for the Islams, be like, well, they're not Muslims, so they're not under Allah. So are they
are they held
are
under
they
Allah or Yahweh?
Yeah, like
standard of
they're
morality?
not Jewish, so are they what's non-Jewish?
Gentiles.
Gentile, right? Are they Gentiles? Or like what category do these new creatures belong to as far as theology is concerned? And everyone would have a different answer to that because that's just the nature of it. Like theology wouldn't have a single answer for it. Science might, but I don't think that theology could have one answer to what it meant for the Bible, to any given holy book or whatever. Everybody would have their own view of it. Like some people would say, "Oh, that's cool," and just proves that God's amazing or whatever, and other people would think that they were actually not aliens and instead they were demons, or
and that would
you'd have all sorts of stuff.
My grandmother, she told me that, I think this was around last Christmas. She said, the Lord told me, when there's people out there trying to find aliens, all they're doing is they're looking for demons. And I'm just like, okay, Grandma,
Okay.
You're right. I just nod my head and say, yep, you're right, because there's no point whatsoever in disagreeing.
Oh yeah, I would definitely want to know what the aliens believed or didn't or whatever. I mean, there's so many things that we would want to know, and of course, we can only hypothesize. All I can say for sure is it would fundamentally change the entire world forever.
Right.
And I think that would be true. I want to believe that it would be true, even if we just found like a plant. But I don't think it would be as big of an impact if we found like something like an animal. That would be a bigger impact, and I think that a huge impact would be, intelligence like ours or whatever.
Right. And I would hope that the aliens don't want to come eat us, because they have to provide arguments that we'd have to use.
They definitely are coming to take our stuff. I mean, that we are screwed, and I will do whatever they want, because I'm like, oh yeah.
I'll say, listen.
Look, you don't have to kill me. What do you want?
That means we're going to be cancerous.
I am on your side. Well, yeah, there's all sorts of. Well, yeah, we would have to have clean rooms to encounter each other because they'd have viruses that we don't, we'd have viruses they don't.
Right.
I mean, there's so many precautions and things that we'd have to do.
Wouldn't that be wild?
It would be. And this is the thing, like alien movies, like you don't see a lot where, the care that would have to go into actually encountering another species,
probably
because you have to make sure that there's the room, the area, whatever is absolutely clean.
Probably the smartest alien movie that I've seen was Arrival. Have you seen that?
Is that the one where they the language is like predicts time?
Yes, yeah.
I was thinking about that one actually while I was saying that. But even there, you have this like dividing screen between them. But still, like, okay, but you have to make sure that the room, whatever the room they're in, or they have to make sure, whatever they have,
I mean, obviously, a movie's got to be entertaining.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Don't get me wrong, I prefer Alien Invasion over.
Yeah, well, no,
alien movie, but I did think it was actually really good. Because, this is a different angle, a more intelligent angle, so to speak, of an alien movie. I just thought it was really interesting. I enjoyed it. I'd like to watch it again.
Wait, is my microphone still sucky? I got a new one. I mean, this one's pretty good, I thought.
I think it's just a person talking. Tough crowd.
All right, that's fine. That's okay. Where do you live again?
I was trying to think of a fictional. Where does the Muffin Man live? Drury Lane.
I don't know, man. In your butt. He lives in your butt. Butthead.
Not before this went live. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. Now it does. After I find you and hunt you down. This man, if the Muffin Man was alive and you ate him, what do you like? How does that work? Like,
if the Muffin Man was alive, what does he eat? Because
the giant one,
that would be a cannibal.
When the giant one fell in the moat, did it drown or was it fine? Like, it was wet, but was it dead? Did that kill it?
Wait, when what fell in
the giant one in Shrek? The giant one fell into the moat.
Oh, I thought you said the commode. I was like,
yeah, the giant one fell in the commode.
I think we saw two different movies. Look, I can't talk. I can't say words.
How much would you pay? No. How much would you pay for this to happen? Okay, $1 million.
Well, it depends.
Yeah, it depends. Like,
what's your proposition?
Like multiple people at once,
So, D-Man.
Yeah,
as it's getting late, and we're probably gonna wrap this up. I have to ask.
Yeah.
Are you gonna leave this on, or are you gonna take it down?
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Let's just sit back and watch the numbers come in, and they'll tell us. What, because I don't know what this was. I know we did it. We did it for an hour, but I don't know what we did.
I don't know either.
Okay. See you later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
I would just like to say to everybody watching, unsub to this channel. Unsub to mine.
We suck. Thumb down all our content.
I'm just kidding.
Don't let us do this again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can just see it now.
It's okay. Every now and again, you have to be silly. You have to be pointless. Otherwise, because you're going to burn out.
Well, that's very true. And what's funny is people that are used to my videos are going to be like, oh, I wonder what does that say? Billions of people and 3 of them are listening to this.
What are the chances? That proves God. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Well,
as I said all along, it will prove Laud in the end. Actually, okay, now here's my project, and I'm serious about this. To be serious for a moment, I've had the lobsterist for a while. I've mentioned it a few times, and I thought, it's time for the new lobsterist. It's time for the next chapter to be made, but I want more people to write it because the Gospels had like what 4 authors. So if I can get 3 other people to write, and we're going to kind of like we'll have like the basic premise, but then we're gonna see if we can make our stories like, you know, like we can pretend like, oh, they line up, and here's the apologetics for it.
And you can have contradictions and just
absolutely.
It away.
The more contradictions, the better.
Or you could say the lobsters commanded the rape and stoning of certain people, but hey, that was a different lobster back then.
It's always the turtles.
Even though it's the same lobster, it was a different
lobster. So anyway, so that's going to be my next project. I'm going to recruit people to do it. And so do you want to be one of those people? Do you want to help write the next Lobsterist? Come on. You know,
I'm going to write it with a bunch of typos.
That's fine. It doesn't
just to
matter.
give more credence to its
authenticity.
Can't say that thing that means authentic.
The authentic, right? The authentic.
This is why anytime I do a video, I have to read the line 5 times.
Okay, I'm gonna get. You know what? We said we were gonna end, so we gotta hit the button now.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Okay, bye. Say something smart before I hit the button.
Something smart.
Okay, goodbye.